Yes, Razan, Walaikum Salam. How are you?
Fine, Alhamdulillah, sir.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, just 1 minute. Okay, so the last class we had done the discussion regarding wastewater treatment plant. Okay, now we cannot entirely depend upon that wastewater plant. Right now, we cannot entirely depend upon the wastewater treatment plant to to clean the water. Right? We as citizens also have got some responsibilities, isn't it? We also have some responsibilities towards the nature, to keep the nature clean, to keep the water clean, right? So thereby it is important that we also become an active citizen, right? So waste generation, as you know, it's a natural part of human activity. Wherever humans would be living, waste would be generated. Getting it, Dazan? Wherever the humans would
Sir,
be living, waste generation is a natural part of the human activity. So waste is going to be generated, but what we can do is that we can limit the generation of the waste, right? So although it is a natural part of human activity, but we can limit the type of waste and the quantity of waste that is being produced. Okay, oftentimes it happens that when we are walking in the streets, particularly in some countries where the streets are very much polluted, the garbage is thrown in the open, so thereby, or like the drains are not well developed, basically open drainage system is there, so we are kind of repelled by the offensive smell that comes out from the garbage or from the open drains, right? And particularly in the rainy season, what happens in the rainy season? The waste from the drains would be overflowing. It will flow on the roads, on the streets, right? And many times we see that we have to wade through the mud pools on the road. Getting it? So it kind of becomes very difficult for us to walk on the roads, particularly during the rainy season, right? And this leads to the spread of the diseases. So what would be happening? The flies, mosquitoes, and insects will start to breed on it, right? They will reproduce, their number is going to increase, and it will further lead to a spread of harmful diseases. Like, for example, typhoid, it leads to spread of malaria, dengue fever, etc. Getting it or not?
sir.
Okay. Only you have joined us of now. No? Turn your camera on in the class. No? Yeah. So there are some better housekeeping activities that we must practice. Okay.
Can you go to the washroom and come?
Okay. Okay. But be back quickly. Hmm. Yeah. So I was saying that what are the better housekeeping practices that we could um, we should follow to minimize the wastewater pollution. Okay, so a good way to minimize the sewage water is to check what is going on, what is going in our drains, right? So if we dispose of our waste properly, so we may be able to reduce the sewage, right, Azan? If you were to dispose it properly, right? So we'll be able to reduce the sewage that is being produced from our house, right? So there are various kind of practices that we should adopt. Okay, the first thing, we should throw all the oil and fat in dustbin rather than throwing it directly into the wash basin. Getting it? So oil and fat should be thrown into the dustbin separately, but not it should not be thrown into the wash basins. Right? What happens? Oil and fat would harden up. It will become hard and it will block the drains. Also, we know that since oil and fat would be floating on top of water, so like it kind of becomes difficult to separate it from the water. Getting it? So the first thing we need to follow is proper waste disposal. Whatever waste is being generated in our house, we need to dispose them properly. Okay. Next, don't pour cooking or grease down the drain because these substance solidifies in the pipes and can cause clogs. So say that these are the drain pipes. These are the drainage pipes in our house, which is supposed that it is connected to the wash basins. Now, what happens when we throw oil in it? Oil or fat particles are thrown in it, or suppose grease is thrown in it. So what will happen when all these substances will go in the pipe? It will form a clog. It will form a clog like this, and thereby it will kind of block the pipe. So oil, grease, or some fat particles, these things should not be thrown into this, but rather it should be thrown into the dustbin, right? Then discard solid food scraps in the trash. Okay, no? The solid food scraps, it should be discarded in the trash because the food particles can accumulate and can block the drains. Like if you have got some leftover food scraps are there, food particles are there, some leftover is there, so one should not throw it directly into the drains because over the period of time when too much of the waste will accumulate, it will start to block the drain. Then particularly the chemical substances, it should be disposed of properly, it should be disposed of carefully. So we should not pour chemicals like paints, different kind of solvents, insecticides or fertilizers or other kind of hazardous materials directly into the drain, should not be thrown. Getting it? So or in fact we should also not be throwing the medicines into the drains because what can happen now when we will throw such kind of things into the drain, so they will kill the microbes in the water that helps in purification of the water. You know that there are some microorganisms living in the wastewater that actually helps in cleaning the wastewater. So if we will throw the chemical substances into the wastewater, into the drain, it will start to kill the microbes. Yes, Razan.
Today we had to make the PPT on the 4 members and after we did review the positive points.
Repeat again. I can't understand what you're saying.
Today we had to make the PPT and we were only 4 members including me. Then after we did the PPT, we got 15 positive points.
Wait for 1 minute. Is there someone is speaking in the background?
No, no, sir.
I can hear the background noise because of which your voice is being interrupted. Okay. Please come a little bit closer to the mic and kind of try to sit in a place where there is no background noise. I speak again.
Today we had the PPT
Mhm.
and We were only 4 members, including me. And then after we finished the PPT, we got 15 positive points.
Okay. Okay, good. So who presented the PPT?
Like we all four.
Okay, you all together. Okay, who was explaining? Who was explaining it?
Me and my friend.
Okay, okay. How did it went?
Good sir.
Very good. Good to know. Thanks for letting me know, Razan. Very good. Yeah. So I was saying that the chemical substances should not be thrown into the drains. It should be disposed carefully. Okay, no? So what we can do, we can kind of put it into the dustbin, into a separate dustbin. So why it should not be thrown? Because chemicals can kill the microbes in the water. In the water, that helps in water purification. Getting it? So that is why it should not be thrown. In the chemical, we will also include, will also be including medicines also will be included in this. That is something. Okay. Then we can use drain traps. Okay, now so one should install and regularly clean the drain traps to catch debris before it reaches the pipes. What does it mean? Suppose, for example, like this is the floor of the washroom, suppose. So, and this is the pipe. This is the pipe connected to it. So on the mouth of the pipe, we will install the drain traps. So we will have the drain traps. So suppose there are some garbages. So the garbages or the trashes will get stuck on the drain trap. Getting it now? So we will collect it and then we will throw it in the dustbin. So we should use the drain traps to catch the debris before it reaches the pipe. Because if it reaches the pipe, it can clog the pipe. It can jam the pipe. So these are some of the sanitation. These are some of the practices which we can better house practices we should adopt. All of these are the better housekeeping practices that one should adopt in their life. Getting it? Right. So basically, things like oil, fat, tea leaves, solid food remains, cotton, sanitary towels, it should be thrown into dustbins and not directly into the drains, as they will choke the drain pipes. It will jam the drain pipes, right? And they will not also like what happens. Like suppose this is a pipe in which the sewage is flowing. Sewage is being flowing. So when we were to if we were to directly throw all these kind of trash into this pipe now, so what will happen? Suppose from here it has clogged. All of these are the different kind of trash things. Then what will happen? It will prevent the flow of oxygen to the water, right? It will not allow the flow of oxygen into the water if it is clogged. Suppose it is clogged from this end and from this end also it is clogged. So what will happen? The microorganisms that are present in the water will not grow, will start to die, because certain kind of microorganisms also helps in cleaning the water. Further chemicals, paint, solvents, insecticides, in fact motor oils, medicines, so they should not be thrown, as we have already discussed. It can kill the microbes present in water. Hope you have understood this so far.
Sir.
Good. Next topic is sanitation and disease. Okay. So sanitation basically, it refers to the health condition of people related to the disposal of sewage, right? Sanitation here is referring to the health condition of people who are
Assalamualaikum,
related.
sir.
Yes, walaikum salam, Aman. Why are you joining the class this late?
So sorry, sir. I was having network issue.
Okay, it's Fatima here. Yes, Fatima, how are you?
Fine. I'm fine, sir. How are you?
Yes, Alhamdulillah, I'm good. Okay, Fatima, everything good? Like,
Yes.
you haven't been consistent? Hmm? Are your exams over? Unit 2
Oh,
exams were
yes, sir.
already over, no?
Yeah.
Okay. Try to stay regular in the class, both of you. Okay, now exams are near. I'm very concerned about this. If you guys are irregular, that
Sir, my science exam is on 24th.
it's on 24th of February.
Yes, sir.
You have got the syllabus and share it with the counselor.
Okay, sir. I'll just share.
Okay, make sure to share it. Fatima, what about you?
Yes, sir, I did.
Oh, you have shared it already.
No, sir, I'll share it with you.
Oh, okay. You haven't got it yet.
I have.
You have.
But
Oh,
I've not shared it yet.
okay. Make sure to share it. Okay, if you can share
Okay.
it in the chat box, that would be more convenient. But you can share it later on to the counselor also. Right now, we were doing the chapter wastewater story. You guys have missed a very important topic from this. That's why I'm very concerned. See, I think you guys were not there when we had started this chapter. Were you guys there? I think no. We had started doing this chapter wastewater story. In the chapter so far, we had learned about what is sewage, wastewater, basically, what are its components, and we have learned about sewage treatment process and the steps involved in it. Right now, we are doing the topic sanitation. This is the topic that is going on right now. Okay, so I would advise you guys to watch the recording of the lessons. Later on, when I will be starting the revision, I will be discussing those topics for you guys. So the topic which we are discussing right now is how we can become an active citizen and play our role in keeping the water clean. Okay, or minimizing the amount of waste that is generated in our household, and what kind of waste should not be thrown into the drains. So particularly waste materials like oil, fats, tea leaves, solid food remains, cotton, sanitary towels, chemicals like paints, medicines, insecticides, it should not be thrown into the drain pipes directly, as it can choke it and can also lead to killing of the good microbes which help in purification of water. Further, we have this topic sanitation and disease. Okay. So I was saying that sanitation refers to the health conditions of people related to the disposal of sewage, right? Getting it? And poor sanitation and polluted drinking water can lead to several kind of diseases. So thereby, a sanitation system, it aims to provide a clean environment for us so that we can stay away from diseases, right? And like if we have an improper sanitation, so it can give rise to spread of various kind of diseases. Getting it? So we see that contaminated drinking water, and poor sanitation, they are significant causes of diseases. Significant means main cause of disease. So contaminated drinking water, like if the drinking water has got some unwanted substances present in it, which can make us sick. So then that kind of water is called as contaminated water. So if drinking water is contaminated, it can lead to sickness. If sanitation is not proper, so that can also lead to sickness, right? Getting it? Further, untreated human waste can pollute water and soil, and that can lead to waterborne diseases like dysentery, hepatitis, meningitis, polio, typhoid, cholera, etc. Now, in the given diagram, it is being shown that the human fecal matter, the human waste, somehow gets mixed with the drinking water. Getting it? Some of the harmful components from the human fecal matter, somehow it gets mixed with the drinking water, so thereby it will lead to spread of diseases. So thereby it is important to have proper sanitation system. Getting it, everyone? And
Yes, sir.
there are various diseases that is spread when we consume polluted water.
Sir, which chapter number is this?
I can't say for the chapter number, but the chapter name is wastewater story.
Okay, 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 sir.
So some of the diseases like cholera, typhoid, meningitis, polio, typhoid, cholera, etc. Now, in the given diagram, it is being shown that the human fecal matter, the human waste, somehow gets mixed with the drinking water. Getting it? Some of the harmful components from the human fecal matter, some of the diseases like cholera, typhoid, dysentery, hepatitis A. So these are the diseases that is caused due to drinking contaminated water, polluted water basically. Okay. So thereby, the government of India have launched a mission that is Swachh Bharat Mission, right? Or Clean India Mission. It aims to improve sanitation through campaigns focused on proper sewage disposal and providing toilets for all. So the aim of this mission, called as Clean India Mission, right? It is to provide to improve the sanitation system, to improve the drains, right? To improve the drainage system in India, and to focus on proper sewage disposal. The sewage that is being produced from our house, the waste material that is being produced from our house is properly disposed. So when these two things will be done, apart from this, when toilets is provided for all the citizens, so thereby we will ensure that people stay healthy and we can control the spread of disease, right? It is observed that people still would be defecating in open. Like a large part of rural India still does not have toilets. Getting it? A large part of India, like we see that, like if I were to give you an idea, it is observed that about one in four rural households still do not have or uses a toilet facility. Thereby, they will be defecating in open. So, in order to counter this problem, to stop this, Government of India launched this mission, and it basically aims at providing toilets and improving the sanitation system. And these are some of the disease that is spread due to due to consumption of contaminated water. Hope that much is clear so far to everyone. Any questions?
So,
Further, in order to prevent ourselves from catching these diseases, we should first of all ensure that the water which we are drinking is free from any kind of pollutants. It does not have any impurities in it. Then we should wash your hand oftentimes. You should wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 30 seconds. Or one should consume treated water, or boiled water can also be consumed, right? And avoid directly drinking the tap water, because tap water is not pure water. It has so much of impurities in it. It has so much of heavy metals in it. Then one should maintain proper sanitation, and the waste that is being produced in the house should be disposed of properly. You should wash the fruits and vegetables with hot water before consuming. Getting it? So many times it is seen that the colors are added to the fruits to make it look fresh. So thereby one should wash the fruit and vegetable before consuming it. Getting it now? The color pigments are kind of added into the fruits to make it look fresher. So one should ensure that you wash it properly. You guys answer these questions. So all of you turn your
sir,
cameras
what
on.
if
Repeat.
you need like
Yeah.
food colored fruit?
What is food color?
No. What happens when you eat a color that is food colored?
You might get
See,
sick.
sure, we can do.
We can get sick. Getting it, no?
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, answer these questions. You guys will be answering it in the class. Okay. And all of you turn your cameras on. Those whose cameras is working on, turn it on. Hmm. Which of the following is not a source of wastewater?
Sir,
Mm-hmm.
it's a sewers. A.
Sewers you are saying. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. Because sewers are basically the pipes which are carrying the wastewater, right? They themselves are not the source. They are basically carrying it.
And sir, for the second one, sir, it's C. Yes, sir. Is it anaerobic?
That is anaerobic respiration. Basically, anaerobic respiration happens there by the anaerobic bacteria. So that is anaerobic bacteria. Good. Yes, Razan, Fatima, Aman, what's the answer?
Sludge and aerator.
No, Razan, we have discussed this topic now. It is expected that you would be able to answer this. It's saying which are the
Oh,
products of
sir, I
wastewater treatment
didn't.
plant.
Okay, I didn't read the question well. Both biogas and sludge.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Both biogas and sludge. If we were to go back to this diagram, in this what we have run that, in the digester, we get the biogas, right? We get the biogas and we also get the sludge from this. Getting it? So option C is the right answer. Next question.
All of these.
Exactly. That is all of these. So it's not files, but flies actually. It's a typo error. So flies, mosquitoes, organisms which cause diseases, all of it will start to breed in that. Then we had learned about alternative sewage disposal method in the previous class. We have discussed that. We had this topic to be discussed today. See, you must have seen that certain kind of plants are kept in enclosed spaces to purify the air, right? Certain kind of plants helps in absorbing the harmful substances from air. It absorbs the harmful gases and helps in cleaning the air, right? For example, you have the snake plant, right? Snake plant, all of you must have heard of this snake plant, right?
No,
So you have got snake plant, you have the peace lily is also there. So these are some of the plants that would be keeping the air clean, as they would be absorbing harmful substances, harmful gases from the air. Just like that, they are there are certain plants like eucalyptus and many more that helps in cleaning the water. That helps in cleaning the water. Getting it? So, like eucalyptus plants would be grown near the polluted lakes. Okay, na? Near to the polluted lakes or the ponds, and it will rapidly absorb the water. The waste polluted water is absorbed by the eucalyptus plant. The one that you see over here, this is the eucalyptus plant. Okay, so it will be readily, it will be very fast, like it rapidly absorbs the wastewater and then will be releasing pure water vapor into the atmosphere. So thereby we see that this plant in a way helps in cleaning the water. Getting all of you? Hmm? Getting or not?
yes, sir.
So this one here is eucalyptus plant. So special thing about the eucalyptus plant is that it can absorb the wastewater at a faster rate, and then it will be releasing pure water vapor. In this way, they are kind of acting as a natural purifier. So it absorbs, first of all, it is grown near polluted water bodies. Further, how it works, so it absorbs the wastewater rapidly and releases pure water vapor, pure water vapor in air. So thereby, it is kind of acting as a natural water purifier. So they act as natural water purifier. Okay. So it is kind of advised to plant the eucalyptus trees along the sewage ponds, along the ponds in which the sewage is being dumped. So it is advised to plant it near sewage ponds. Okay. Then you have the peace lily also. As I told you that peace lily helps in cleaning the air, right? But it is seen that peace lily also helps in cleaning the water. Getting it now? It helps in cleaning the water as well. Although it is usually used to improve the air quality, but it can grow in water and can help in cleaning the water also. So it helps in cleaning air and water both. Next topic is sanitation at the public places. Okay, so sanitation, as we have learned that the government, like as we see that the government has laid down various standards of sanitation in public places. Okay, and we all should be contributing to maintain sanitation in the public places, right? Basically, like we should not be scattering the litter anywhere, as it will lead to pollution. Getting it? So that is the thing over here. So there are numerous places, we see that there are numerous places in our country which are very busy, such as airports, railway stations, bus depots. These places are very much busy, and many times we also see that in case of large gatherings, such as fairs, such as festivals, when these events are organized, which attracts large number of people, so huge amount of waste is generated in such places, right? So that is resulting to generation of large amount of waste, and if that waste is not treated properly, it can lead to several diseases, and in some cases can even lead to an epidemic. Getting it? Can also lead to epidemic. Epidemic is a situation. Mhm.
What is epidemic?
Yeah, epidemic is a situation the when the disease is spread to a large number of people in a given area, so it is called as epidemic. Getting it? So it's kind of when a particular kind of disease is spreading in large number of people. Okay, give in a given area only. So that is called as epidemic. Basically, it's kind of an outbreak of a disease, right? But it is in a relatively small population. Okay, but the number of cases would be very higher, right? But what happens if it spreads globally? If it spreads to different countries, then that becomes a pandemic, just like we have the COVID pandemic, right? So it was spread into different countries. Okay, but if it is contained in a small population only, like 10,000 or 20,000 of people were only contracted by a certain kind of disease, so that situation is called as an epidemic. So I'm saying that in situations of large gatherings, in case of festivals, right? So a large number of people would be gathering and will lead to generation of so much of waste. And if that waste is not treated properly, if it is not dumped properly, so that can lead to several diseases and can also cause epidemic. Getting it? That is the case. Okay. Further, if we adopt certain practices at public places, so we can help in maintaining the sanitation. Basically, we should not throw garbage in public places and always use the dustbins that is put in the that is there in the streets. We should also not be spitting around in a public place. So these are the things that one should take care of. So here we have done the chapter. These are the questions you guys are going to do.
Can you answer?
Yes, anyone can answer. By the way, just I'm pausing you for 1 minute. Fatima, currently what is going on in your school?
Just the chapter light.
Mhm. Light chapter is going on.
Yeah.
Okay. Aman,
So, reproduction in plants.
reproduction in plants. Okay. This is your first lesson from this chapter wastewater study. Yes, Fatima and Aman.
Yes,
Did you
sir.
guys? This is your first lesson from the chapter wastewater study, no?
Yes, sir. No. It's nutrition in plants.
No, I'm saying that when I started this chapter in the batch, this is the first class you guys are attending for this chapter, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
But in my school, everything's completed. Only we have started annual revision.
Oh, revision has started. Okay. Okay, you guys start answering the questions.
If the following is wastewater,
Repeat again. Which of the
what
following is
is
wastewater? Mhm.
water coming out of a shower?
Water coming out of a shower. Okay.
No. Is there more than one?
Like there's just one.
Oh.
Okay. The most appropriate one is the answer. Mm-hmm.
Water coming out of a laundry?
Yeah. Water coming out of laundry particularly is considered wastewater. Okay. Next.
Water polluted by various human activities causes a number of waterborne diseases. Which of the following is not a waterborne disease? Asthma?
Asthma. What about others? Yes, Fatima, Aman.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Asthma.
Asthma, no? Right? So we have learned cholera, typhoid, dysentery. Cholera, typhoid, and dysentery, they are waterborne disease caused due to water pollution when we consume contaminated water, right? As we have discussed. But as for the asthma, there are various causes for asthma. Okay, no? There are various reasons why a person would suffer from asthma. Particularly, asthma is a respiratory disease, right? So if certain people are allergic to dust particles, right, or air pollution particularly, so because of that, the person can suffer from asthma. It can also be related to some other reasons, like if they have some infections in the respiratory tract, that can also trigger asthma. Pick from the following one chemical used to disinfect water. Yes.
Chlorine.
It is chlorine. Very
Chlorine.
good. Good. Next.
Sewage. This is a B1.
That's sewerage. The system of network of pipes used for taking away wastewater from homes or public buildings to the treatment plant, that is sewerage. Inorganic impurities.
Pesticides.
Pesticides, you're saying. Okay, what about others? Yes.
Yes.
Sand and fine gravel.
No, for the first one only right now answer. Aman, what
I
is your answer
answered.
for? Yeah, you have.
Pesticide?
No. Pesticides are it's
Yeah, sir. It's the C.
phosphates, no?
Yeah.
As for the inorganic impurities present in the water, you have namely three. Like you have nitrates. You continue.
What is phosphate?
Phosphate. Okay, let me explain that. Phosphates, and then you have metals. These are the inorganic impurities. As for the organic impurities, human fecal matter, urea that is present in urine, oil, herbicides, pesticides, fruit and vegetable, etc. They are the organic impurities. Okay, your question was, what is phosphate? Okay. See, phosphate is basically kind of a group of chemicals. You can understand this as a group of chemical. Getting it? Which is present in different substances. Also, it is present in the food, different kind of food materials like milk, eggs, meat, like peanuts. They contain phosphate in it. and it's an organic substance, inorganic substance, I mean to say. Okay, that is what phosphate is. Okay, next question. In a filtration plant, water is filtered using layers of. Yeah, that's a good question. I'll be drawing a diagram for this one, by the way.
Clay
Yes.
and fine gravel.
Clay and fine gravel. No.
No, sand, fine gravel, and medium gravel.
Sand,
Sir,
fine.
I already answered the second one.
Yeah, I answered this one. Yeah. So for those of you who are saying sand, fine gravel, and medium gravel, that is correct. Okay. Now suppose that if you have to clean a small amount of water, so thereby you can use sand, fine gravel, and medium gravel can be used. What you can do, like apart from these, you can use charcoal also can be used. Huh? You can also use some other things also in this, like cotton can also be used. Okay. Suppose we have taken a empty glass bottle. Okay. Suppose we have taken a plastic bottle has been taken. We have cut open it from the top. All right. Now we are going to create different layers in this using sand, fine gravel, and medium gravel. Okay. So I will add some more extra thing in it. What we can do in the bottommost layer, you can put some charcoal in it. Charcoal, all of you understand, no? Right? So we can put some charcoal in it. Although it is not in the option, but we can use charcoal if it is available. Then after charcoal, you can use the medium gravels. These are the gravel. Medium gravel, I would say. Next, you can use fine gravel, which will be smaller in size than the medium gravel. Okay, now Aman and everyone. Gravel, you all understand now? They are kind of tiny rock-like structures, very tiny. So these are fine gravels. Fine gravels are shorter in size in comparison to the medium gravel. And on top of it, you will put some sand. So sand is smallest than the two. So these are the sand particles. So we have sand, we have fine gravel, and then you have medium gravel. And if charcoal is available, we can use that also. Then we will pour some water on it. So we will pour some water on it. Okay. And we also would make some holes on it. So the water can drip from these holes. So the water that will be coming out of this holes, we can collect it. We can collect the water. Okay. Then later on, we can boil this water and can drink it directly. So this is how you can make a mini filter system for water. Getting it, no, Fatima, Aman, and Dazan, everyone. So we can boil it and drink it. Okay, so that's the end of the chapter. Okay. So let me just give you an overview of the chapter. Okay. Then we'll be starting a new thing in today's class. Aman is not here. See, in the chapter Wastewater Study, we have learned that wastewater is basically the water that has impurities in it, that contains unwanted substance in it, like it could be dirt, soap, food particles, could have human or animal waste, could have different kind of chemical substances in it that will make it unfit for immediate reuse, that will make it unfit for human consumption. We cannot drink it, neither can use it for some non-drinking purposes also, like washing the clothes or cars, etc. Then we have learned that there are various sources of the wastewater. It could be our home, from the factories, from the agricultural field also, and the rainwater can also lead to pollution of water, right? Then it is harmful as it pollutes the water bodies. Let me get some water. 1 minute. So we're saying that it is harmful as it is going to pollute the water bodies, will lead to a spread of different kind of diseases like cholera, typhoid, polio, dysentery, etc. Further, it also kills the aquatic organisms like aquatic plants and fishes. They will start to die due to water pollution. So thereby, its treatment becomes very much essential, right? Before we release the sewage into the oceans, it must be treated. All the harmful substances should be removed from it, right? So further, we learned like what is sewage. Sewage is basically the wastewater, right? So it's the liquid waste that is produced by the community of people. Waste generation is a natural part of human. Every human generates some waste, right? So it is essentially the wastewater that is released by our houses, industries, hospitals, offices, etc. And it has lots different kind of waste are present in it. Organic waste are there, inorganic waste are there. It has got nutrients in it also. Getting it, it has so much of microorganisms also that causes diseases, but it has got some of microorganisms that also helps in cleaning the water also. So it is a threat for aquatic animals and the plants also, and must be treated before being released into the water bodies. As we know that water is a very crucial and important resource. Although we see that Earth has about 71% of water, but still we are suffering from water scarcity. Many people in certain countries suffer from water scarcity, right? Like in the Middle East countries, in the Arabian countries, particularly, they suffer from water condition. Particularly in the African countries, also we see that certain people would be suffering from water scarcity because fresh water is not available everywhere. So we discussed that out of the 71% of the water available on Earth, 97.5% is salty, and we are only left with 2.5% that is fresh water. But out of that also we see that about 68 to 69% is frozen in the glaciers and the ice caps. 30.1% is under the ground, and 1.2% is present in the rivers and the lakes. So we have a very small amount of fresh water available for our use, thereby it must be conserved. And it has importance in various sectors of life. This is essential for our life, right? Because without this we won't be able to function. We will die of dehydration. Agriculture, it has got domestic uses, industrial uses, plays a role in maintaining the ecosystem and balancing the climate and all that. So thereby water is a crucial resource. And the sewage which we are learning, it has got many components like organic impurities are there. Then it has inorganic impurities, nitrates, phosphates, salts, metals. It has a disease causing microorganisms in it like bacteria, viruses, and parasites. It has got suspended solids also, like these are the insoluble materials that will not settle down but will remain floated in it. Then chemical waste were there like detergents, pesticides, industrial chemicals, etc. Then the wastewater that is generated in the homes, in offices, schools, hospitals, etc., is collected collected by the sewers, and it is sent to the wastewater treatment plant. So all over the city we have this sewerage system, or also called as drainage system, that will be responsible for collecting the wastewater, right, and will be carrying it for the wastewater treatment to the wastewater treatment plant for treatment basically. So most of the developed cities have this underground drainage system or the sewage system, but many countries have drainage system also, which is poorly managed, and that leads to spread of diseases also. So we had got two types of drainage system: closed and open drainage system. So closed drainage system is basically underground. It is hygienic in the sense that it does not leads to spread of diseases, right? But in this case, it will lead to spread of diseases as it becomes a breeding ground for mosquitoes, flies, etc. Furthermore, we have learned that in the sewerage system, every 50 to 60 meter, we have a manhole like this, which has got a staircase in it, in which the people can go under it and inspect it. But in India, particularly, we have seen that we have this problem of open manhole cleaning. Okay, no, manual scavenging. That is called as manual scavenging, and government has prohibited this. But because of lack of the employment, people would be forced to, like, they don't have any other employment opportunities, so they ultimately have to fell for these kind of jobs. So many times it leads to their death also because of harmful gases, right? That is one thing. Further, talking about the wastewater treatment plant, in this one we have discussed, let me first clean this. So the sewage, when it comes to the wastewater treatment plant, first it's made to pass through the bar screen. So all the solid waste is removed from the bar screen, right? Then from here, the water goes into the grit tank, in which the grit, sand, pebbles are separated. Okay, it settles down at the bottom, and from the grit tank, the water now goes to the sedimentation tank, also called a settling tank. So in the sedimentation tank, what happens now? The solid waste like the human fecal matter, animal excretas, will settle down at the bottom. And what do we call that, Razan? What do we call that? What do we call that waste which settles in the bottom?
Sludge.
Sludge, no? So that is called a
And,
sludge.
and we remove it with a scraper.
Exactly. Remove
And
with the help. Continue.
And the one which will be gone up will be like the gases.
No, it's
oils.
scum. Yeah, oil and grease and fat particles would be there. It is called as scum.
Oh.
Separated with
The
skimmer. Okay, Fatima, you also getting all this now?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now from this, the sludge now goes on to the digester. We'll be talking about it in a minute. Now from this, the water is kind of cleaned. Not pure, but it is now clean. Okay, then from here, the water goes into the aeration tank. Now the water that is coming to the aeration tank, it still has some organic particles floating in it, like tiny food particles, soap particles, etc. So from the bottom, we pump air in it so that aerobic bacteria can grow and eat those waste and decompose it. So from aeration tank, now the water goes to the clarifier tank, also the second sedimentation tank. This was the first sedimentation tank. This is the second sedimentation tank. In this, what happens? Another kind of sludge is formed called as activated sludge. Okay, so which then goes to the digester. Now in the digester, what happened? The sludge that is coming into the digester, anaerobic bacteria will decompose that sludge and leads to formation of biogas. So biogas is produced in this, and that can be used as a fuel. Biogas formed in it will be used as a fuel. As for the sludge, so the sludge now goes to the sand drying bed. So sludge has still lots of water in it. Okay, now, so it will be left open in the sun. So since it is on the sand, so water will percolate through the sand, and some of the water will evaporate. Then the sand can now be used as a compost, will be spread to the crop field to enhance the fertility. Coming back to this tank, now the water from the clarifier tank goes to the disinfector tank, where by the process of chlorination, basically chlorine tablets are added in it, which kills the microbes and removes harmful chemicals like nitrates are removed from it. Also, many times, yes,
Nitrates.
Nitrogen compounds are removed. Then UV treatment is also done to clarify the water. And finally, now the water is fit to be released into the water bodies. But it is not good for drinking purposes. Okay, no? Can be used for non-drinking purposes. So all these were the different processes which I have tried to sum up in short. And from here we have discussed in today's class. Okay, Fatima and Rizan. Okay.
Okay.
So we have completed this chapter. Now you guys tell me, do you guys have this chapter by the name of soil?
No, sir.
No? Okay, good. Good to know. Like, so the students from the other batch have this chapter, so I thought whether you guys have it or not. So let me tell you, like, what are the chapters that is left to be done so far. Okay. Razan, do you have any update regarding your exams? When is it going to start and regarding the syllabus?
So, when it is gonna start is on Wednesday.
Okay.
On Wednesday.
Okay. See, by the way, we have 1 minute. We have actually, let me see what chapters are left. Yes, Razan?
Science will be at
Mm-hmm.
2/3/2025 Sunday.
Okay.
It will
You
be at
have,
March
it will be in the month of March,
2nd March.
2nd March.
Yes.
Okay.
Jasola has a sword.
2nd March. Have you got the syllabus yet? Not yet.
But I do know some chapters that will come.
Okay, okay. By the way, guys, we have finished the syllabus as of today. Okay, no?
Okay, sir.
We have finished the syllabus. Now, make sure, Fatima, you share it with the counselor,
Okay.
the syllabus, okay?
Okay.
And from the next class, we're going to start the revision. All right. In the revision, it is in the revision particularly we'll be doing questions. We'll be doing a
Okay.
bit of revision and then we'll be doing questions. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So that's it for today's class then.